Love it or hate it, the newly signed Inflation Reduction Act will be the law of the land, and with it comes changes to the tax credit related to electronic vehicles. If you've been on the fence about getting a car, now might be the best time to get in the game. Some changes go into effect immediately, and others go into effect on January 1st, and there are a few requirements that phase in over time to qualify for the $7,500 tax credit. Changes effective immediately through the end of the year include the introduction of the North American Final Assembly requirement. That means to qualify for the full $7,500, the vehicle must have final assembly in North America. Now, don't worry if you're not sure, the U.S. Department of Energy has already compiled a list, and I'll drop that here. If you're looking at this list and you see that the vehicle you want is already capped, unfortunately you're going to have to wait till January 1st. Now at that time, the 200,000 vehicle cap will be lifted. And if the vehicle you want isn't on this list, then that probably means that final assembly and or price doesn't qualify. There are income limits to qualify for this credit. If you're single, the cap is $150,000, it's $225,000 if you're head of household, and finally it's $300,000 if you're married filing jointly. Now, you can't just get any vehicle you want. The MSRP of the pickup or SUV must not be over $80,000, and now keep in mind that that's the MSRP, not necessarily the selling price. And then other sedans must be less than $55,000. Now, what's interesting is for the first time, used vehicles will qualify, but the credit is going to be limited based on how much the vehicle is. So the credit cannot exceed 30% of the sales price. As long as the purchase price is over $13,500, you'll get the full credit. And with the way that the used car market is right now, I don't imagine that would be a problem. Now for the bad news. Almost 70% of the EV vehicles currently available in the US won't qualify for this credit when it goes into effect. So that doesn't leave a ton of options. I'd recommend checking the list out first before you go thinking that you're about to get an income tax credit. Final guidance hasn't been released, but I'm curious to know what you think about this credit. Make sure you drop them down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.